Yeah, so thank you for having the time to come and do this. How are you doing right now?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I just ate some food about 30, 40 minutes ago, so I'm chilling, nice and full, and
Okay,
just ready to talk.
that's good. And I really I'm really overwhelmed like how much I'm discovering about your brand, and like I'm trying to find a way to make sure that I at least can come at it from an approach that most people who don't know what's going on can kind of learn, and then we can kind of ease them in.
Okay.
And then we can kind of talk about it from the more intermediate level where you just kind of just, use all the stuff, the words, the terminology that, you got to kind of be experienced, to understand. Um, so like,
Sure.
I think it's really interesting that personally, like, you can buy a piece of an NFT collection, or you can buy a full product that's your own NFT. It's a one of one,
Yeah.
and that's like the easiest entry way into a brand, I think. So can you explain how simple it is to buy a lava head and become a part of the family?
Yeah. So it's pretty much a minting phase. So I have a launch pad that I partner with, and it's called PI Market or PI Protocol, and then they have a marketplace where if you have an NFT, you reach out to them and they say, hey, I have a NFT project, then they just evaluate it, and then if they like it, they'll put it on their marketplace and they create a contract for you, and then that's how you launch your NFT project. So this is a process that you could do with any marketplace, because this is literally a launch pad process. So if you just go on Twitter and you just type in NFT Launchpad, you'll see dozens of projects and marketplaces come up that are launch pads. So once you find your like a topic, or you find like the artwork, you attach the artwork to an NFT contract, and usually your um, launch pad, they'll like help you make the contract, and then you go from there.
That's interesting because that explains basically, I mean, if anything, it kind of explains, let's say startup basically finds its foundation, like from the outside world, from the business perspective. A person has to find development, and they have to find a like a place in a partnership. And in the NFT world, where
Right.
it's like mostly digital or virtual, what have you, there's still that same destination spot as a business, or as a blockchain business or company or project, where you can do the same thing. And you're saying that you went kind of like to an incubator. Is that correct?
Yeah, you could look at it as that. Yeah, like a digital version.
Okay, yeah, no, that's really cool because people feel like they're left to drown out here, or left, dry, and there's not much as far as uh support, resources, just, kind of
Yeah.
like that group of experts who can kind of steer you. And the thing about those experts is they might not know the brand part, or the ground part, or the fun part, or the inner parts, but they know the, like,
Yeah.
the skeleton of it, and they know how to make sure that you're following that, I would assume, right?
Yeah, well, the purpose of a launch pad, in my opinion, well, first off, you can create an NFT project and have a contract, and then you can plug this all up into your own website. So, technically, you really don't need a launch pad. You can actually
Okay.
draw the contract or write the contract up and have the artwork and all that stuff put together. And then the minting phase, you can just put it on your own website. The purpose of the launch pad is really for guidance, some kind of expertise, and then if you use a launch pad that's popping, say they got like 30 or 40 projects already on their launch pad, they have people that utilize the platform,
Hmm.
then you just have extra community and an extra notoriety in using their launch pad, instead of like launching it on your own by yourself on your website, and
Right.
then having to go out and market and bring people to your website.
Okay. Okay. And so would you kind of explain that as like a community? Is that what it is?
Say that again.
Is it
Explain
basically
what.
a community? Like, let's say like it's you said marketplace, right? So it's already got like users on there, and they're
Oh,
active.
you fading out a bit. You fading out a bit.
Okay, let's see. I'm on my phone's
Now
still.
I can hear you. Yeah,
You
you
can
good
hear me
right there.
now? Okay.
Yep.
Um, so I was wondering, is it damn, I kind of forgot what I was saying. Oh, I said, is it like community? Is there already a community there, and there's already users?
Yeah, you're fading out again though, but I still heard what you said. So as far as the community part goes, like with the launch pad, yeah, there's usually a community already built around the launch pad because launch pads usually are expensive to build. It's not like an easy task to build a launch pad and bring dozens of projects on board. So usually when you are dealing with a launch pad, usually they have their own community already, and then you just come in and usually they accept you. I use the word usually a lot because there's like that's how it usually goes, but not everything goes right. So there's still like
Right.
things that can happen, but usually that's how it goes. That they'll have a platform, and then they'll have a community already built up around like the brand of the launch pad. So like say,
Oh, great.
yeah, for example, if there's like um I don't know, like a YouTube launchpad. So then like YouTube already has millions of people already using YouTube. So if YouTube did a NFT launchpad, you would already have the users that use YouTube, and then they would see your NFT as well
Yeah.
because it's part of their platform.
Okay. So, okay, that's really good. That's like, and so y- tell me a little bit about how this plays a part into your next stage and how this actually helped you get to your customer, your brand, and the person who wants to have fun with your NFTs. Tell me how that helps you get to your goals.
Well, having a launch pad just makes everything easier because I personally don't know how to write out the contract. So um
Okay.
if I had like friends I was gonna onboard, I would say, okay, well, come over here. You can use my partner's launch pad, and then you would give them the artwork, and they create the contract around it, and then you would go from there. So if I have a community member, a community of like 100 members, say 10 of them want to do their own NFT project, and they're already part of my community because they're live heads. I would say, okay, well, let me get the artwork and let me see what you want to do, and then I would take that over to the launch pad and then pivot like that and have them help my community members create their contract. So
Okay.
it would pretty much just be helping. It's helping me help other people pretty much.
Right. I kind of want to make this point because the community is actually really tight knit, and there's that trust factor with crypto, and
Yeah.
there's like, who's legit. And can you tell me a little bit of the process on how you found something trustworthy and maybe also committed and devoted? Tell me about that for you, and how that makes you feel secure and things like that.
Yeah, for one, you got to be here. Like, I wouldn't say you got to be here every day, but just like you kind of got to be here every day. Because if you want people to take you serious, like crypto is your job and this is what you do, then you need to like be here every day. It's kind of like
Yeah.
if you work at the metro or something, people are gonna expect you to be there every day. So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of
Right.
um that kind of
And
like
I see you commit that time. I do see you always active and you're always very serious about this. And it comes first, which is important for the space where people are claiming they're founders and
yeah,
CEOs and they'll start something up. And clearly, like, there's the same energy in how people act, and you can see it a mile away,
yep, yeah,
trying to scam. So, like, tell me, like, maybe when it comes to how you are building your community and you're following the right steps, and because I can see how confident you are knowing you're not scamming people, right? And then there's people who
yeah,
have to move a certain way because they know at one point they're going to probably get as much of their identity off the internet so they can't be held accountable. Then they run
yeah,
away, and you're proud of what you're doing. You're loud about it, which is important about not just marketing but just the pride. Like, if you can't talk about it, if you can't put it out there, what you got to be ashamed of if this is so serious? And then it
yeah.
requires that time from you. um can you tell me about how, like, the 24-hour and the online aspect, like, kind of affects you and your business, and what do you do to take 24
Yeah,
hours
it's
on the internet and make it work for you?
yeah. I mean, I take it serious. You'll see some founders of big projects, and they'll make a Twitter post like once a month or something like that, and it's like, how serious are you trying? Or do you think that you can take them? Or there'll be people that are putting all their money into these founders, thinking that they're going to make them like millions of dollars in returns, but they don't even want to have a conversation with you.
Yep, yep,
So that's half the battle right there, like letting people know that you're open to have a conversation, because a lot of founders will think they're like too high up there to talk to the community members. So if you can find a founder that's a founder of his own project and a community member of other projects, that's usually like a green flag, not a red flag. So that's
yeah,
actually something you probably want in a founder. And then like as far as my personal life, I cut a lot of things out for this shit. So, you know,
yeah,
I cut a lot of relationships out for this. So it's like just really depends on how bad you want it and what you're willing to sacrifice and get rid of, and also
right.
bring on, because you're bringing on a lot of luggage doing this shit too.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's very true. Um, and so would you say that since you figured out your flow, what differences do you see in your life now that you've taken on such a big thing like this, and you're very committed and you want you want to keep your community involved, you stay
yeah.
involved. What how many ways do you think your life has changed from previous entrepreneurship to something like this, crypto entrepreneurship, blockchain entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I'm online 24/7. I know before I had I really didn't even have social media, because I did all that for many years, and I was like, all right, I'm over to social media. So I cut social media off for
Mm-hmm.
like 4 or 5 years, and then when like the crypto and the NFT started taking off, I made my social media again, and so I had got into the rhythm of, doing that. And then after just being in the game so long, you want to do your own project. That's what it really boils down to. You outgrow the projects that you buy into, or maybe the projects that you're buying into ain't doing enough for you, and you want to
Yeah.
do more. So, like, rather than just complain to those projects you're not doing enough, just do your own thing and show them that, hey, this is how you do it. And then I know, like, I walk around with my with like two cell phones, and sometimes I have my iPad on me. So I usually never had like this many devices on me, but now I just walk around with usually two phones on me. And yeah, just technology, because I've always been like into technology, but once you do it 24/7, it's like you're onboarding more technology into your life. So
Yeah, that is very true. um I know that this is like, to be honest, like this is kind of a dream for an entrepreneur, like technology coming to
yeah,
us and being more helpful. I like to bring up how the world saw Steve Jobs for the first time, and then how he started to gain momentum in the public eye as like a serious guy, a
yeah,
serious man. And even if people relate to that story, they were told the beginning part that they forgot, because you can't see a Steve Jobs and his later without seeing his former. And that right there, like for an entrepreneur, I think most people wanted to be tech entrepreneurs because of the simplicity. Like it's kind of simple in some ways. Now I'm not saying that it's easy, but as far as the tools and connecting to them to make your workflow work,
yeah,
versus let's say a mechanic who needs a shop, who needs the equipment, who needs the startup
facts.
bills, who needs a staff. There's a complete pivot here to how much you need to start up and get going, and then to only need like a couple of phones and a tablet to run this whole thing. And it doesn't make it seem small. It just makes it seem like, okay, when you do sit on the tablet and work on it, when you do sit at your phones and you don't just have one, you have two, you're going back and forth, you're maintaining communication, updating
Yep.
information, just always using these devices to interface and keep updated. And that's one thing too. Companies couldn't update this fast, and now we're always wondering what's going to cut through and be the next thing. I truly do think it's going to be a blockchain company. In fact, I want to bring this point up because you have an amazing NFT collection, which we should start talking about a little bit more of. The collecting
Hmm.
process, the trading process, the cool, unique process, the meaningfulness, and then the fact that it's tied to blockchain that makes you an owner. And I mean, we're having this conversation in battle in the law in public, that if it's a security. So I'm not trying to put words out there and put words on your brand and make it hot or anything. But the fact that somebody can own a piece of, your NFT, and it's some sort of value,
Yeah.
like real value, that's amazing. And the community is already moving. and people are, engaged. They have it for their own reasons. They're all apart. They're down. They're talking. Can you tell me a little bit about um like how these people are interacting through the mediums like Twitter and, let's say, Discord? Can you explain a little bit how they interact there?
What, as far as like the NFT holders and how they interact with the NFT on the medians? Is that
Yeah.
um
Yeah, can you like explain your ecosystem and how they communicate with each other? The owners of Lava Heads.
yeah, so I have the Discord. So what we got about probably a little bit over 100 people in the Discord, and they're all NFT holders. So at first I had the Discord open, and then I closed it, and I opened it several times, but now it's just on pause. And it's pretty much just the NFT holders, because we have scammers come in there and say wild stuff, and then um,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I'm not trying to have none of that. So as far as for the
Okay.
holders, we hang out in the Discord, and I'll post it. My lava head. I know people see what I post on the timeline, but I post everything first inside the Discord, and then I'll post it on Twitter. And then I
Mhm.
also have a Twitter chat, a group chat with a few founders and a few community members in there that are active on Twitter. So, we use that
Okay.
to talk back and forth as well. But for the most part, um, I prefer Discord, because I feel like Discord is like an island, and you don't have to worry about neighbors and stuff. So I like being on my island by myself, honestly. So
Yeah. Okay. And that's really cool. I think that people tend to look at these opportunities, and then when they notice how large it is, it can be overwhelming to where it's a little bit like, well, if I don't get it, and even though these people are buzzing around it, it looks kind of scary. And I think yours doesn't look scary. Also, I like that you have already engaged the upper products of Discord, because you can use Discord for free, but then you can engage it to where people who are already subscribed in the Discord
yep,
universe and pay for that type of stuff, you have given them another product that they can buy into. So that way, people who are being themselves, I use Discord, and if I want to unlock some cool lava head emojis, while I also am entertaining the fact that I can buy one or two or buy multiple, that keeps me engaged, or I'm having a fun experience. And brands and fun kind of go hand in hand. Like, how can I interact with this and have a good time?
yeah,
And fill my experience, fill my world with this. Because first of all, this is art, and art is very serious for people. Art, it doesn't matter how subjective, it matters that it calms people, and it brings people to a center, and that center is needed, and everybody finds it somehow. And then the fact that you have a very diverse collection, this gives a lot of opportunity to a lot of people who are very individual to jump into it and find their own niche. Like, I like the tacos lava head that you had, because I'm a big fan of tacos, and I'm on the West Coast. There's lots of street tacos here, and I think that would be something I would look forward to, get in on the community and represent myself. Also, right, and I'm not trying to overtalk this little moment, but like trading cards and the fact that there's value in trading NFTs, or maybe I'm still kind of new to the terminology, but I feel like it's like the same thing as trading. You might have to sell it to there's something like that, and then get rid of it, or some sort of assign it to the next person, but get the value in exchange. I know we're still working out the terminology, but the point is that that just brings me back to Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, and then I'm
yep,
seeing how well developed your collection is, and this brand is so serious because the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh brand wasn't just cards; it's cards that you can play.
yep.
You don't just collect them and put them on the wall and they're stickers.
Facts.
Stickers are collectible, but no, these cards you play with, and you play with people, and these people you get something from in value. Like, I feel good playing with this person who I can, zone out and do my
Yeah,
thing. And then that the fact that that universe you're building and that you've already established, it can grow, and it has just these open skies. It's up from here, and at any point in your growth, it can still be up from there. It's just amazing seeing the IP power behind this and connecting it to crypto. So could you tell me, like, how do you feel like doing this? Like,
bro.
really, like,
I
you
feel
have this.
amazing, bro. Like
Yeah.
straight up, bro. Because for real, like people don't understand the IP aspect or the branding aspect. They understand the NFT part like fully, like understand the NFT part, but but they don't grasp the IP part. So, with the IP, you can make all kinds of stuff with the IP aspect. I made a tweet about this probably about a few hours ago, and I had said that Pokemon, they released 151 Pokemon in 1996. They built on the IP brand of those original Gen 1 for like 4 years, actually longer than 4 years. And then they launched the Gen 2. So they had like Pokemon cards, they had the Pokemon game, they had Pokemon merch, as far as like the shirts and shorts and all kinds of things with the IP on it.
Oh my God, don't get me started on
Yeah,
merch.
look, hey, we're gonna go down that rabbit hole. Just but what I'm saying is, with the Gen 1 with the IP and stuff, man, they built so much stuff on the Gen 1, and there wasn't no NFTs or anything like that at all around. So like, if you can understand like the Gen 1, and then you have an NFT tied to this, like the NFT is there to fast forward your company. Like the NFT, the Web3 is there to fast forward what you're doing.
Yes.
So, I have the Gen 1 with 555, and this is attached to an NFT. And so once I start making IP with it, like, as far as shirts and cards and other games, because I'm gonna get my lava heads. I'm aiming for like 20 games right now, but that's just on the light side, because Pokemon, like, think about Pikachu. Pikachu is featured in over 100 games, bro. Like, Pikachu is priceless. So if you have an NFT like that,
That's correct. That is
yeah,
right.
if you have an IP or a brand that's similar, and you can make your model work like how Pikachu works, and get it advertised everywhere. And then, bro, you have an NFT attached to that. Yo, it's going to be crazy for the person holding that NFT. Like, yo, the founder is going to be all right, because the founder is doing what he's supposed to do to get the IP there. The IP is supposed to, once you have like the NFT and you hold that in your wallet, that's for the holder. So now, say I got Lava Head number 72. Lava Head number 72 is featured in 15 games, but then we got Lava Head 552. It's only featured in 2 games. And so now there's going to be like different ranges of value amongst the collection. And I could take it like you were saying, the tacos. So then we could have Lava Head number 15. Can be featured for tacos, and it will all, like, at the end of the day, build the whole brand up. So the NFT aspect is just there to fast forward
Right.
what you're doing. And you can, like, people don't understand, like, you can make way more money building out your brand, building out your IP, placing it everywhere, and then making merch. And like how you said, that feeling of like playing the card game and then being comfortable with someone, that feeling is priceless. So if you can build that feeling up, with your art and through like certain interactions, you could really go crazy with the merch. And you can make way more, because it is about money at the end of the day. But there's certain steps you got to take before you can get there. Like, you can't just like jump up fucking 3 steps, or take fucking the shortcut. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do that, it's not gonna work out the right way. But
Yeah, that's
once
correct.
you get all that perfected, man, you'll make way more money with merch and IP and branding than with the damn NFT. Like, my NFTs, you could when they first launched, like, Ethereum went up a bit, but when they launched, you could buy my NFT for $20, bro. Like, it was like $25, I think, when you can, plus the gas fees. And then, like, wait for like 3 years, 2 years, bro. Like, and then I have these NFTs like featured in 20 or 30 games. Like, that NFT you pay $25 for ain't gonna be $25 no more. I tell you that much.
That's facts. Because if I actually want to discuss that a little bit more. Because IP attached to a NFT and the owner. Can you explain like what position that person takes, and are they similar? And I say similar, so we are, like, I'm not saying it is, but close. Is that similar to what an investor or an executive producer looks like? Somebody that just financially gets involved but doesn't
Nah,
really
me
control anything?
personally, for me, I mean, for other brands that may be it, but for me personally, I just view them as a community member, just someone along for the ride. Because some NFT projects, they'll have maybe a 10,000 collection, and then somebody buy like 100 NFTs, and then they feel entitled, and they're like, oh well, you need to do this and you need to do that. And like, hey, it's not my fault you spent $2,000 $3,000 on this project and you ain't got no input on what's going on, because I've already been through that. I spent lots of money. I've
Yeah.
spent lots of money on a previous project, and they weren't trying to hear none of my ideas. And it's like, I just had to understand that, hey, I just wasn't a part of the circle. I wasn't part of their circle. So that's what made me even go harder and branch out and do my own thing. But as far as like, when people buy my lava heads, like I have a system in order that's already going to pan out, just with time. So anybody that buys into my project, I don't really see them as a executive or anything like that. I just a community member that's just here for the ride and going to get a piece of what I build. I don't.
Right. Right.
That's why I made the NFT so cheap. It was only like $25. You're not spending $1,000 on an NFT. So now you feel entitled and you feel like you're gonna lose out if you don't do X, Y, and Z. Like you paid $20 for it. Just sit down and enjoy the ride, and let me work and do what I need to do, and then we'll all gain value from it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that sounds like because these are just terms I'm throwing in from the financial world that kind of they're the ones who look at this and they're gonna rename it based on the things that they've seen it functionally do like similarly.
Yeah.
So of course I'm not trying to say that you are one way or another because you're paving this way and you're trailblazing it on your own directly because first of all it's not very discovered space
Yeah.
as an
Well,
industry and then you're doing
a
something
lot of the
new.
stuff that I do is I'm the first one to do it, or a lot of the stuff that other people do is,
Exactly.
is they're the first ones to do it. Like this whole space is filled of
Yep.
people doing stuff for the first time. So like when you come through the door, it's either you got to be confident or you just got to be lucky. Like there's only really two ways it's gonna go. It's like you know what you're
Yeah.
doing and you're confident, or you just saying fuck it, I'm gonna just see what happens.
Yep. Yep. And so I did notice like I think I saw a tweet that you said eventually some holders may own royalties or something like that. Could
Yeah,
you
yeah.
tell
So
me a little about
so
that?
imagine if Pokemon, the whole 150 one, like the original, they were NFTs. So every time like a piece of merch sold with that NFT on it, you would get a piece of that. So like say Pikachu was an NFT, and every time somebody bought a Pikachu shirt, you'll get 10% of that sell from the Pikachu shirt. That's shit
Wow.
that ain't been done yet. So like, people like to like gold. So I know there's a few all gold lava heads in the collection. So when I make merch and I have like this binder of 555 NFTs you can pick from, somebody may pick the gold one more often than they pick the all red one. So the person that owns the all gold one, they'll be receiving royalties more than the person that got the all red one. But then there might be the ladies out there that always want pink. So who knows? The pink one might get picked a lot, and then people that own pink um might get royalties more than the person that owns blue. And then, like you said, the taco shop. Well, there's some with the chef hats on. There's a bunch of chefs out there. So the one that got the chef hat might get picked and have stuff made more than um, the next. So it's all about the traits and the colors and the profession or the environment you're trying to apply the art in.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Um, so okay, so how much do your NFTs cost today, and when can a person buy them?
So they cost zero point zero 0.02 Ethereum, and you can buy them anytime. There's 555 right now. We have 396 minted out. So we got about 186 left, or 85 left, something like that. So, once they get to the end,
Wow,
that's
that's
it.
crazy. Wow. And then after that, so okay, so is the Lava's brand only 555 and then no more ever gonna be made?
Yeah, as far as right now, I don't plan on making any more, because if you leverage the art and you leverage what you're doing the right way, there's really no need to make any more, because I got lava heads that are holding cell phones. His lava head is holding a knife. I got some with wings. I got some that are blue. I got some that are green. I got some that are have headphones on. I got some that have a GM for good morning in their hand. I got some for good night. Like the way I made the traits, and me and the artist made the traits, there's really no reason to make more. But I mean, even Pokemon, they waited 4 or 5 years to make Gen 2. So even if I do make Gen 2, it won't be anytime soon. It'd probably be like 4 or 5 years from now.
Okay, and then with that reference, it's kind of like not until you really need to because they didn't need to, and then they were just like, let's get creative. And then I kind of wanted to bring up back to that point you said. I'm kind of doubling back. You said something really profound. You were like Pikachu alone was in several different
Yeah,
games, and I was thinking Pikachu also has their own company, like the Pikachu company, and I think it's the Pokemon company and the Pikachu company, something like that. I might have to look that up. But my point in seeing that is like looking at the leverage you have over all 555, which is a huge number to deal with. It's not like five next to five. That's
yeah,
555
yeah,
little IPs that could have their own
yeah.
thing. And then speaking of IPs and branding, Snoop Dogg with his Snoop cereal with Master P, they just dropped a new cereal and he's using his NFT what is the BAYC
Board, board.
Board
Yeah,
Ape Yacht Club. Yep. And he's using that to brand it, and that's now effectively his IP that he can do it with. Now I know that's not exactly the same because you're doing all the power work for them, and all the holders get to sit back, like you said, and go along for the
yeah.
ride, and that's really impressive. So like it's funny how like the games is coming, all these things. Like, how do you feel like when you look at the possibilities, what do you narrow down first in your mind? Like, do you think games and merch? Do you think apps or something? Like, what first comes to mind that you want to focus on in
The
this?
game aspect. So
Okay.
I have a spatial being built out by the Haikuns, which is another NFT
Oh, a
project. Yeah,
spatial.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's going to be gamified too. So it's going to be it's pretty much like the floor is lava. So I'm pretty sure everybody's played a floor is lava variation. I haven't told nobody this
Hell
yet,
yeah.
so I haven't told nobody on the morning show I be with every morning or anything. So this is like alpha. So they
Oh
yeah,
shit, that's
they
crazy.
making me a floors the floors lava game. I got a scooter racing game in there, and then there's like a little scavenger hunt game in there. So with the spatial, I have like the lava heads IP blasted all through there, and then I have another investor that wanted to invest in me, and so he has a digital game or digital like world metaverse type setup that he's building, and so he wanted I'll put my lava heads in his game. Then I got another friend IRL that I know that he's making a game, and I'm gonna put the artwork in his game. So I'm going for 20 games, and so I got three lined up already. And then with the
Wow.
when I get to like 20 games, so just to put it in perspective, imagine if I have the Lava Heads contract, the NFT contract put inside these games. So I'll say, hey, all 15 of your games, can you make the Lava Heads NFT armor? Say I want it to be a fire resistant armor. So if you're playing the game, you equip the Lava Head, and now like fire doesn't hurt you anymore. So now I could put that in 15 games, and that would be 15 communities that need my Lava Head so that they can like have fire resistant armor, or even say like, hey, to get to this certain part of the map, you need to have a lava head. So then that would be 15 communities that need the lava head to do XYZ in their game. And then from there, like you would pivot and make merch, because not everybody would be able to get the NFT, but everybody could get a shirt or something like that. So it's about making your NFT wanted. So I would take that. As far as the 15 games, 20 games, we would do that. And then I would start, and I got some friends I'm doing IRL events too. I got a friend that's a DJ. So then from there, I have my friend like wear Lava Heads t-shirt and stuff while he does all his spins at his shows and stuff like that. So then I would build on the aspect of the IRL stuff too. And then once I got like 20 games that I'm featured in, I could all post them on my website, and then like anybody that comes to interact with the Lava Heads, I'll have a whole 20 games just for anybody to go play and have fun in.
That's amazing. That is really, see, that's what I mean by I don't I didn't want to get too far in and like overwhelmed with everything. I wanted to take my time, like And this right here sounds like I don't know if you know you got on Threads or if
Oh
our
yes, I'm on
audience in the
Threads
future that's coming in. Uh-huh. Okay, so uh crap,
because
what was I gonna
Threads is
say?
a power tool too because I
Yeah,
think that
the
yeah,
Fediverse.
in the future, Threads is going to come out with a Threads marketplace. So if you're on, it's going to be like a IG marketplace. So if you're on Threads right now and you're pumping your NFT IP there, and say you get like 10,000, 5,000 followers, like, you know, people may not buy your NFT, but, you know, they may buy your merch as far as like hoodies, t-shirts and things like that. And then you can still advertise all the games that you're in. So just imagine that I have the Lava Heads featured in 20 games. That means I have content, like infinite amount of content to post on social media platforms, whether it be YouTube, Kick, Threads, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. Like, I mean, I don't want to go that far and take over or try to put my shit on all those platforms because at the end of the day, it's me working behind all the social media platforms. I don't want anybody else to have control over it. I want to have it. So, you know, that's pretty much how that works. So, you know, it's about just putting the IP where it needs to be.
Okay, yeah, and I love that because I really feel like you have the mind to control this as a brand, and a lot of people will hear the fun, you know, bells and whistles and all of the like smoking mirrors, and that's what they're attracted to. But no, you're actually attracted to the work, making it work, and that's like people know they like to hear that in a leader. You know, people are haters and all wherever they're gonna be haters at, you know, but in the honest, you know, bigger picture view of this all, people want to know that somebody cares about it so they can be carefree and they can have the fun. And I'm sure this is fun for you, which is also something that's good to hear from people who want to know, like the people who are doing this, they enjoy doing it.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. I mean, I'm having fun doing this because I'm a gamer before any of this stuff. So like, you know, I'm used to just sitting on the computer playing games, beating high scores, and you know, doing things like that. So when um when I vet these projects out that I put my artwork in, of course I'm gonna be playing the game and trying to hit the high score. So and the cool part is like as far as the art goes, man, there's so many different games that it could be a part of because each lava head is different. So like we got some lava heads that have the chef hat on. You know, that could be a part of a chef game. You got my main profile down there with the four eyes and the horns on the head. Like that could be a part of like a scary game. And then, you know, I even got the there's a lava head with the bear claws. So I mean, it could be like a game that comes out bears versus bulls, and it could be like a crypto related game or something. So, you know, there's just so many there's so many approaches like when you're playing a video game and just putting the artwork together because you know some NFT collections their collections don't really steer too far from like the original look. So like being able to have lots of leeway to go left, right, backwards, diagonal, like you know, that's what you see in the collection. And to a certain degree that's what you need if you want to like diversify and get out there because if not, then you know, say if you got an NFT project and your NFT project is about alligators and all the alligators look the same, because you know you're not really going to be able to get outside the market and do things with cheetah like projects, if that makes sense. I know that's kind of a weird analogy, but
No, I get it. Because you're trying to stay on brand, and then the fact is, like, Lava is a huge brand, and then each one has their own.
yeah,
So if they need into like this space where they need each other, it would make more sense for the game, or it will actually benefit the
right.
gamer in the game, right? Okay, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And it's really awesome to see like this vision have so much room to grow in so many spaces, and then for you to have the you have the mind to want to do it, you have the interest, but they're also like somewhere in the forefront of this whole plan. Like it's coming next, and that's really cool. Like, because not many people have, like I said about tech earlier,
Yeah.
they don't have a front seat view of like the person who's behind this making it fun and interesting. They don't know what that person is going through, how they're becoming the leadership traits they need, and like if this is really any good. Because if you like once they hear all the drama about the scammers and all that,
Hmm.
it's like, oh yeah, he was living fat, he didn't give a fuck. He was shitting on people. Well, no kidding. But like when you got a person who loves it and cares, we need more attention on that and how that person is making it work. Because drama just sells. And then
Yeah, that's a
there's
fact.
drama in this. I mean, if y'all want drama, I mean, first of all, this is a 24-hour thing. Like, what do you think this person is going through? Like, this person is dedicated.
Well, some of
Their mind is always on it.
yes,
And you know what I mean? It's like not very many people are that dedicated, let alone their mind already on it, always on it. They have the technology for it, so they stay invested in it. You get people who can't wait for the next break. I need to get away from this. And then they give up. And you're just committed. This is real for you. It might be new to everyone, but for you, you're making it comfortable. You're getting into it and you're doing it for real. Um, what do you think this space looks like for representation in the future of just morality and how people are leading the space? What kind of people do you think are gonna take that image
I
back?
think
Like
that
what do you think that's gonna
I
look
think
like?
that 10K collections are done for because if you had a 10K collection and even if you were selling the 10K collection at $10, like let me see, let me do the math on that. 10K collection times 15 bucks. We'll do that. It's 150K. So I mean, there's been 10K projects out there to sell out for 15 bucks a NFT, and it's 150K, bro. It doesn't take 150K to make a cool project and stuff that people can interact with and gain value from. So like, I think the 10K projects, that shit is out the window. And I think it's going to be about the smaller exclusive collections, like mine's like a 555 or a 777 or 888 collection.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the
and
wave.
I do like that idea because it also challenges the fact that people are going in with just this popularity idea, the space where it just kind of blows up viral, excuse me, and there's not much information being shared, just the hype
Yeah,
stuff. And this kind of shows that first of all, not everything's the same. Excuse me, not everything's the same. You can have 10K projects, but then you can have under 1K projects, and that creates more
yeah,
diversity. As far as again bringing this back to the financial and business world, it's like how many ways can you diversify stocks in a company? How many ways can you diversify giving people the product upfront,
well,
Kickstarter?
the
How many
funny
ways can you
the
diversify?
funny part about that
Hmm.
is like with crypto, and just having this NFT in your wallet, it's really unlimited because are you familiar with staking? So
Yeah,
like you could even stake these NFTs and then you could get kickback on some Ethereum, or you could put the
that's what I
yeah,
mean. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I could simply do something like that as far as staking. Um what else? I could man, there's so many things I could do. I don't want to get into the rabbit hole of things I could do, but that just for
Yeah,
starters, like you could easily, stake. You could stake these NFTs and then get kickback. So say like you put them in the pool and then you earn like $20 a month on it, or even if once they get to a certain point, and as far as like a solid floor, like you could even take a loan out against your NFT if you knew that, say, the NFT was always going to be like the floor was about $5,000-$10,000 or whatever, and everybody,
oh
since it's a
wow.
small collection, everybody knows like, all right, we're not going to sell whatever. So then you could actually put all of these in a pool, so to speak, and then take loans out against your NFTs. Like it gets crazy, but this is like
Yeah, it
the
does.
stock market ain't got nothing on this because you can't
Exactly.
go that far with it.
You can't make these many opportunities. You can break down stocks into like shares, and that's about it. Like you can do dividends, and you can they're trying to do loans on shares and stuff
Hmm.
because I have a Robinhood account, and I'm like getting back a penny in dividends off of like loaning my stock or share, something like
Hmm.
that. And it is really interesting, but they're so slow to it, and they're not really trying to make people happy and want to join, because as soon as they made that open to the public, they were like, let's distract them again, fuck that, we do not want people just doing stocks and learning and stuff. And I was like, well, that sucks because like there's a huge opportunity to benefit this economy in this
Yeah.
country if people just had the opportunity to just have the little pieces that they needed. But even down to the little pieces, they don't want people having them. So now crypto's busting through talking about, we're not going to just let you guys have your way, what you think that people shouldn't have, but we're community based. we can't even begin to think that way because we're an ecosystem. It's like certain capitalistic things almost just go backwards eventually.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we know we need help to help people. We know we need people to make it work, but we're gonna just start picking people off. We're gonna just start breaking down and not working right. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like crypto, it could do that, but you got to come in being grimy. Like, it can't go wrong from being set up right, especially because it's contract, it's like coded and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's like a brick, like blocks in a blockchain. So it's all these things are. I mean, we had the opportunity to kind of learn that they were bricks that we had to break down when Bitcoin went viral the first
Yep.
time. Like, what is going on? You're breaking down algorithms and you're trying to unhash a brick and what does that mean? And then we got new cryptos where they're not based in like a hard locked in sum. It's like I mean, I'm not gonna say I understand exactly all of it, but I have a gist of like concepts because it's new and it's like instead of looking at it as blobs, start to think of it in shapes. And the shapes that I can make out of it is like other financial ideas,
Yeah.
but better than the stuff we've had before, much better. So
Yeah. And the
again, it's just
technology.
props to you for putting this together.
Thank you, thank you. And the funny part is like the technology is like growing every day. So, who knows? Like two
Right.
years from now, somebody may approach me and they're like, "Hey, I want to do this for the Lavahead NFT contract," and you could do, and then like it could be like incentivized by money or by some kind of social engagement or just putting it inside
Hmm.
of a game. So like there's people building technology out that we're going to be using 2 3 years from now that we don't even know about. So like
Yes.
yeah, it's
Yes.
crazy.
Uh, that's kind of why I brought up the Threads thing because Threads is supposedly on top of the Fediverse, and they're already trying to be a part of that, which originated from what is it called? The blue sky thing from
Uh-huh.
Twitter. The Twitter had their own. They were like, look, we're gonna do that Fediverse thing where the Fediverse is basically all of the social media is connected, and that's what Jack Dorsey left Twitter to go and build. It's not really launched yet. And then the X.com thing or X organize it, whatever that thing is, X Corp, behind Elon, he's kind of like in the middle of it where he has his piece, but he's going in the financial route. So I say all that to say that eventually everything's getting connected. But if you're in the crypto side, those things are already massively
Yeah.
connected. So we're getting closer to knocking down the doors and the walls that stop all this major connection, which is basically centralization
Yeah.
anyway. If it's decentralized and you can tap in with other things. So that's the point. And so we're getting there and with games and you saying that your game can be unlocked into other games and people can unlock your NFTs on a whole nother game engine where they have what IP or connection or code or maybe the person is a holder. There's so many ways they can make it happen. So it's not just rigid and stuck in one only way. And then it's like some fat cat version of Hollywood. Just pay me $500,000. I mean, they may have to pay you whatever they have to pay you in fees and expenses, but the bottom line is that there's entry to
Yeah.
this so simply and you've already discovered that and made it happen on the ground level. Now you're scaling, but even the people who join can scale with you because the thing that you develop is scalable to begin with. That's impressive as hell, and it's really crazy to know you have it all set up. I can go to your page; it's right there. So anybody listening, you can go directly to @lavaheads on Twitter. It's all set up. You can see the community. You can see people engaging. You can see different unique trading NFT collections that you can take part in. You can buy one on your own. As you said, I believe you said the buying you can buy one. It's at zero point zero 0.02
Yeah.
ETH.
Yep. That's
So that's an easy entry price, and there's 555. So there's value. So it's not some cheap piece of crap, but it's not some expensive, exclusive lock you out, and you're not part of the cool kids club.
yep.
Like you just, but the only thing is, you better get in there before those 555 sell
Yeah.
out, and that's a normal thing. That's not like, hey, you stuck because you didn't get in. We're just building a community with people who are serious, and it doesn't take too much to be serious and buy one. Just buy
Facts.
one, see what you can get. And then again, if you heard all of what he just said, there's so much that you can get just by being a holder. So you have not much to lose with something so scalable with an invested founder who is making sure that this is getting off the ground, opening up different opportunities. they're leading, so they're not just hanging up on one opportunity and hoping that they make it, and no, they're like committed to every other side that they're not looking at. They're committed to every part of this, and that's really, again, it's impressive to know that. It's really just flattering to know that you can get into something, talk to somebody, they don't make you feel like a shithead, they make you feel comfortable, welcome, like, and then there's all these other people who make you feel like you need to go to Harvard or you ain't shit.
Yeah.
Especially with crypto being so accessible, like it's really disheartening. But this is like it's just a really beautiful thing to see, and then just join. Like there's no gatekeeping. I mean, I don't feel like you're a gatekeeper. I don't feel like you're like a devil. I don't feel like you're a shitty guy. Like I feel like you're
Nah,
serious,
I'm just a regular
invested.
person, bro. Like, swear, I'm just a regular person. Like, I tell people, like, man, I didn't climb Mount Everest with my shirt off and like do some shit that nobody else can't do. Like, but I
Yeah,
got an artist. She made some dope artwork. We attached contract to it. I'm here every day, and I'm just a regular person, just fucking interacting with everybody on the internet. Like, I just may interact a little bit better than other people. That's really it.
that's amazing. And this project, just like I said, it just is so open to so many different opportunities. There's no ceilings, in my opinion. There's no ceilings with this, and that's kind of the goal a person in business wants, is to not be held down.
Right.
They want to be able to have open opportunities. And then you said something about that. Could you tell me a little bit more again, like going back into how you feel as an entrepreneur and being independent? Can you tell me like how this project, when you pivoted
Yeah,
from
yeah.
working with
I can
another crypto
yeah,
company?
the other company I was a part of, like, man, I spent a lot of money in their ecosystem, and I didn't feel like I was getting, like, I I didn't feel like I was getting what I deserved, like as far as like the time I put in, the money, and just trying to get their project exposure on social media. I'm like, man, I'm doing all this for y'all. Nobody appreciate it. No one's like interacted with my shit. I'm like, whatever. I just pretty much stopped and gave up and did my own thing, and as an entrepreneur, as an owner, like the greatest feeling is ownership, like just knowing that it's yours and you have complete the control over whatever you're trying to build or interacting with. So, once you step into some of these projects and you say you spend like a few $1,000s and you don't even get any interaction or get any kind of ownership out of it, man, you're already at a loss before you started anything. So, I think it just takes a little bit of time in the field, and then you start to realize that, and then you just outgrow whatever you're doing, and then you build your own shit. And so, like, once you start building your own stuff, man, it's a completely different feeling, because now, like, you have the opportunity to change people's lives, and not even financially, just the way that they think, just the way that they operate. Because I'll tell you, like, how I'm sitting here telling my story to you. I mean, that shit may make you think twice about how you interact going on in the future with your NFT project, if you launch one, or maybe your artwork. So it ain't even just about changing people's life, like with the value of money. It's about changing people's life the way they look and they see the crypto space too. So, like, having the ability to do that, it's really priceless. And so, once you do stuff like that, um like, the value is going to come, whether it's money, exposure, talking to the right person you need to talk to. It's just going to come. Like, I say this all the time, like, it's about the content. It's like the content over the money, because people that have millions of dollars, they're
Yeah,
looking for somewhere to put the money. So, like, you have millions of dollars, you want to put your money where the content is being made. And if you're making good content, then shit, the money don't even really matter to you, because you're going to make money regardless. So, like, if you're making good content and you're confident, like, you really don't need like all that extra stuff that comes with it, because it's not going to do anything but like throw you off your pivot. It's only going to like make you be unprofessional when people come around that you don't agree with. So, like, if you got good content and you're confident and you know you're doing the right thing, don't worry about the money, because it's going to come. Like, whether somebody finds you and invests in you, or you fucking get it popping by yourself, and something happens, like, it's gonna come. So just keep focusing on your content and your craft and your entrepreneurship. It's going to come out. It's going to hit this fan, or it's going to hit the ceiling eventually, and then you bust through it and you keep going.
that's very true. That again speaks to how like you're pure of heart doing this. Like people who have bad intentions just don't even speak like that. Like I feel like you're just in a space occupying space, being light body, like just a light worker. Like I don't want to put names on you, like I said, but like you're just being a positive space, but being a positive person in this space and a positive influence. And you know, I know how we all feel about that word too, influence and influencers and all that stuff, but it just is what it is. Like they're occupying the space, being a good person, and that's incredible. You can't ask for any more. It's like people want us to think that we're dumb if they don't get to a certain level, and those are like really poor success metrics because you never know what somebody's getting out of it. People could be already financially good and they're just looking for something that's functional on the side that works and that can service people. So it never has to be all about the money. Some people aren't just looking for the next thing that'll blow them up and just get them out people's face and rich. Like some people are doing things because it brings more people around them. Some people are doing it, like you said, to be a better influence in the space so they can see it differently and
Yeah.
get something for
You know,
themselves.
this that's it's true because if I wanted to, like I could have launched a 10K collection. Like think about this. Could have launched a 10K collection, and then how I keep on saying I want to be featured in like 20 games. I could go find these 20 games and I could say, "Hey, I got 50 lava heads, buy them and put them in your game." Or I got 100 lava heads, take them and put that in your game. And then it just devalues the whole ecosystem. But but it ain't gonna devalue it for me
Yeah,
because I'm the one that made the NFTs. I just sold the 10K collection. I got the $500,000 that came from selling the 10K collection. So, you know,
yeah,
I could have. I could do it like that if I was really out here for money. Like I know to a certain degree, I know what I'm doing. I can't say I always know what I'm doing because a lot of this stuff is the first time it's being done. But like with the 555, when I market those and I get those pumping in these games, like the person that's holding those NFTs, they're gonna feel the value effect. You know, they're gonna feel the value effect.
yeah. Their fucking wallet's gonna feel it for
Damn
sure.
right.
Facts. Like that's I mean people can like I said they can speculate, but once you play a part, you see for yourself that ends all the speculation. And if you listen to people and how they present it, you have all the room and to find the facts, the FAQs and the not so frequently asked questions, questions that need to be asked that you feel like maybe haven't been asked. Like and then if you find the person who's not only aligned with doing the right thing and is open to answer those questions, like you really got somebody that's serious. You got something for real. And that's kind of why I was attracted to like holding this interview. And you've done nothing but validate all of my speculations personally. I thought you were a good guy. I thought this was a solid project, and it is a solid project. So that further tells me like if you have fucking eyes, you can see that this is something that's valuable. This is something worth something because I'm not specially trained to see the difference between a 10K project. I mean, shit, I might get scammed by the next 10K project. I'm not perfect. We're not all perfect. We all have our interests and the world is gonna keep going doing what people do. But I do know that when I see somebody doing something serious and then there's a whole stream of people doing the other thing and you're not doing that, you're standing out doing something for real, that tells me something too. And I know people feel it when they go to your page. I know people see this and they're like, yo, this is serious. This is something that's not gonna fucking lie to me and go over my head because I can sit here and be a part and I see people documenting and sharing their process of being a part and being a member, and that's really important. And that's a part again, a part of the trust. And people getting scammed. This is deterring from this is the difference. This is the difference. Like
Yeah.
people are looking for what's the difference?
Yeah.
What's the one that's gonna stand out and be something? This is that. Like
The
seriously.
a big component of this whole like Web3 and this ecosystem, like you can make art. I could have made the 555 and they could have just been art and they could have not been on the blockchain at all. But once you put it on the blockchain, it fast forwards what you're building, and then it also like it gives people something to buy into what you're building. So like if say when Pokemon
Yeah.
came out, the only way you could buy into what Pokemon was building is to buy the T-shirt or buy the game itself. So with the NFTs, it's another layer of giving somebody to buy into what you're building, and then when people spend money on stuff, their emotions get tied into it. So now this person is much more emotionally tied to what they're buying and spending their money on because they had to work all day to get that money. Then they believe in you, and that's the emotion part that pulls them in more. So once you start building and understanding that there's certain things you can do to uh to not really leverage, because leverage probably ain't the best word to use for that situation, but once you start understanding certain things, they can play in your favor. So whether it be the money aspect, an emotion aspect, building community aspect, once you understand certain aspects of the stuff, you can start to use it to play in your favor. And these are simple things that other founders may have, and artists, and you just need the right people around you, and then after that it really does get easier. But it's all about the community, and having a support system, because if you don't have that, then it's just a real uphill battle. And before I launched my Lava Heads NFT collection, I was a part of that old project, and I built the Lava Heads as like an IP and the brand in their like in their game, and I was marketing, doing it for like a year straight, just like this red logo only, bro. You would see this red logo everywhere for like 1 year straight, and then after a year went by, I'm like, all right, Shelly, that's my artist. I'm like, all right, Shelly, let's go ahead and get this NFT project started. So before I even launched the NFTs, I had marketed that red logo for a year straight, and my NFT contract is less than 6 months old. I think it's about 5 months old in some days. So my NFTs are relatively new compared to other people's, but the IP branding aspect ain't new. So there's that too. There's so many layers and things intertwined that, man, it's crazy. But you just gotta.
It feels like total freedom,
Yeah.
like as opposed to what used to be and how we were just so caught up trying to get to those layers and those agencies that would approve us and allow us to move a certain way. Now they're just kind of like it's really scary, but like there's not too many people with bad intentions that are actually smart enough in this space to do it. So they do the ones that like we kind of can see coming,
Hmm.
but you also have to be aware to know why we can see it coming. So it's not it's not a complete insane learning curve, but it's like still like you said, get first of all get into a community, and then get around people like know
Yeah.
something, learn something, figure it out, and then definitely don't jump from just I saw and sparked interest to a founder.
Yeah.
Like do it right, but like that's part of doing it right. And again, all these things are just like, do you guys hear this man? Like he really knows what he's talking about, and it doesn't take like some weird Harvard like vocabulary. Like you didn't overwhelm me and make me feel dumb, which is something that you have to have amongst one another. Because if the next guy comes and tries to make you feel dumb, knowing that this is a space that
Red
I mean,
flag.
I might be. I'm sorry, what was
Red
that?
flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag. And it's like not only is this information that you're holding over my head, like I can't Google it after I'm done with you, but then after I looked it up on Google, now I know. And you tried to make not knowing the difference like I would die. Like that's not a dire difference. It's something that I need to know perhaps in the space, but you're definitely using against me, which makes you more of a predator than makes me vulnerable.
Right.
You're just snarky like that. So like when you saw somebody who may not know exactly this portion of NFTs or crypto, you wanted to pull out the jaws on them, like the shark jaws. Like, nah, like it's not that deep. Like if I hear something that somebody doesn't know, it doesn't take too much, but maybe 15 seconds to break it
Right.
down, especially if they know, or just send them on the right
Yeah.
path because they'll come back knowing what they needed to know because they probably have a specific question. It's not like they need a hand guide, a handbook
Hmm.
guide on all the way down to cryptography. Like, no, it's just like maybe one thing in the community space. And then on top of that, like you gotta know what you do know. Like find one little corner and know that. You don't gotta know all of
Right.
it. To be in the community. But like I do really want to respect your time. Like you spent some really good time dropping hell of fucking jewels and gems. I want to wrap this up so you can get back to your really serious and busy like NFT foundership and ownership and
Hey,
CEO
we could
ship.
do this
I
weekly.
want to
We
thank
could do
you.
this weekly if you want. And I can bring on some other projects, and I got some other founders and community
Oh
leaders. So
wow.
if you want to just interview some more of my friends that are founders and leaders, man, we could do this all the time. We could do this once a week.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have once a week at this time. Like at the moment, I gotta move it in kind of
Okay.
slow, and I know that doesn't sound good, but like if we could start this like maybe even like twice a month
Yeah, that's cool.
or once or twice a month, like it'll get me warmed up to like sit and pivot my entertainment space because I gotta go out and shoot and film some stuff. I gotta edit some videos and things of that nature and do some articles. And speaking of which, I'm gonna accompany this interview with an article so people can, just I'm just gonna do a lot of SEO
Okay.
and give this to the world. So if I can pivot doing my SEO and then getting back to this, I'm hella down. This was an amazing
Hell yeah.
conversation, and thank you for like bringing that up for me. I would love to take that opportunity. I don't take things like that lightly. I'm really grateful that you would bring that to me, and I'm glad that you said that. So the answer is
Let's
yes.
go.
I just let's make it work, you know.
Yeah, for
But let
sure.
me get you back to your busy life. Let's wrap this up. Can you please give us your handles, your hashtags, and stuff like
For
that?
sure. So the Threads account is lavaheads underscore NFT. And then we got the one on Twitter that's just lavaheads by itself. Then we got the YouTube, and that's lavaheads by itself. And then I'm also on the Kick. So lavaheads. So everything is pretty much just lavaheads but the Kick. I have the underscore NFT under that one. And you know, I did that for Threads because that's a newer platform. I wanted to say NFT so people know that I'm an NFT project on there. So that's why I put NFT on the Threads account. But yeah, it's just Lavaheads straight across the board. And the website is lavaheads.gg as well. So as time goes on and I get some more games that I'm partnered with, you know, I'll have the website full stacked. And my goal is to have something for everyone to do like every day, like anytime. So it's like we got the social media, we got other projects to hang out with. I got the games that are going to be popping. So, you know, at the end of the day, it'll always be something to do for everyone at any time in the day or night. So that's what we're doing.
That's perfect. So it's just a 24-hour community, and just hit up at Lavaheads on mostly everything. And then you said for Threads, it's at Lavaheads underscore NFT,
Yep.
right?
Correct.
Awesome. So get you guys a lava head like immediately. There's only 555 being made. A lot of them have been sold. It's like under 200 left. Like get involved, get into this space. And he's a hardworking CEO, founder. Get involved in this. Follow him at Lava Heads everywhere on YouTube, Kick, Instagram. Threads is underscore. It's Lava Heads underscore NFTs. Thank you guys for listening. This is a recorded space, so I'm gonna record it again, chop it up, and do my thing. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Lava Heads, the brand, and thank you as a CEO and founder for having the time for this. I really appreciate you. We are signing off, and yeah, come back. We're gonna do this again. Peace out, everybody. Much love. Thank you.